If Mexican forces are better trained, better resourced, function in a more strategic manner, then that's a good thing for U.S. national security interests. And that's the whole point of the CIA. The CIA is out there to protect national security interests.
Reuters report detailing the CIA's covert involvement in Mexico's drug war. The investigation, based on interviews with over 60 current and former U.S. and Mexican officials, revealed that the CIA has been operating secretly in Mexico for years, supporting elite Mexican military units with training, surveillance, and financial aid. Sheinbaum acknowledged general cooperation between U.S. and Mexican authorities in combating drug cartels, but specifically refuted the claim that the CIA agents participated in Mexican army operations, a point that Reuters clarified it never made. Okay, so she denied something that they never claimed. Reuters has stood by its reporting, asserting that Sheinbaum mischaracterized the article. The Mexican Navy, in comment, included in the report, confirmed international cooperation for security purposes, but did not directly address the CIA's alleged involvement. This marks the president's first public comment since the report's publication, following earlier silence from her office and the Mexican army. Question associated with this is that when intelligence agencies operate in another country, what risks do they face if their involvement is publicly exposed? And how do governments actually on both sides handle that? And again, I don't know a lot about the world you used to operate in, but I can't imagine if the agency did have a presence that it would be without the knowledge of the Mexican government.
Yeah, it's not. That's not how it works. It's a liaison relationship, and so it's not like we're telling the Mexican Navy and Marines, which by the way are very good elements of the Mexican military, probably the best elements of the Mexican military, certainly the most trusted in country in Mexico. It's not like we partner with them and then say, shh, don't say anything to the government.
Yeah, you climb a caving ladder up on a Mexican battleship in the middle of the night with a balaclava on and like sneak up to the bridge. Yeah, I didn't.
Mexican bullshit.
Listen, I can switch timelines and analogies. It's fine. You knew what I meant.
Yeah,
Whatever,
I know.
A patrol craft.
Yeah. So yeah, look, the fact that we've got a liaison relationship with the Mexicans, with law enforcement or military, whomever, intel service to intel service, if that shocks anybody, just fuck right off, because that's just how the world works, and it's not without the blessing of the Mexican government. So what she's saying, and you pointed that out, is that she's basically denying something that they're not asserting, because she's trying to placate kind of a portion of her government that's saying, oh my God, how could you be cooperating with the CIA? Well, you know what? The CIA has a counter-narcotics operation, a center, and we've been engaged in counter-narcotics operations for decades around the world, and I was fairly heavily involved in that during the drug wars. And then they told us we won the drug wars, and so then we moved into counterterrorism instead. So that was a happy day. But it doesn't. The fact that we work with, again, whether it's military, law enforcement, intel, to help them train, to assist with resources, because again, what is that? That's benefiting U.S. national security, right? Mm-hmm. If Mexican forces are better trained, better resourced, function in a more strategic manner, then that's a good thing for U.S. national security interests. And that's the whole point of the CIA. The CIA is out there to protect national security interests. So it's a pretty simple line, but I get what Claudia Sheinbaum said. And look, she's actually been a very positive force, I would say, in Mexican government, certainly compared to her predecessor, AMLO. I think she surprised a lot of people. Most people thought because she was sort of a protege of AMLO, the previous president, that she was just going to follow his policies as well. And AMLO was kind of this, hugs, not bullets guy when it came to counter narcotics, right? If we just get our arms around the cartel and give them a little more understanding, and maybe we can solve this problem. And so Sheinbaum's not doing that. She's actually being more forceful, and I think she's also understood how to engage with the Trump administration better than a number of foreign leaders. So, I give her, credit in that regard. But once again, look, you can never get away from this. Anytime anybody, says something about, oh, the CIA is working with another government, oh my God, well, it must be cloak and dagger. We've got liaison relationships with just about everybody out there, and that's a good thing.
Everybody, let's be real with each other for a second. Most doctors do not care about optimization. They do care about you, but they're checking your basic labs. They tell you that everything is looking normal, and they're going to send you on your way. Meanwhile, you're feeling tired, your performance is slipping, and you know that something is off, and that is where Marek Health comes in. Marek Health isn't your typical doctor's office. They're a next-level health optimization platform that actually listens to you, runs advanced lab testing, and helps you optimize your hormones, your metabolism, and your overall performance. So whether you're looking to boost your energy, maybe gain some muscle mass, or you just feel like you're not your best self anymore and you want to change that, Marek gives you those tools and can help you make it happen. You have two options. You can go with their guided optimization program and get a dedicated health coach and medical provider to help you with supplements and prescription treatments. Or if you're more of a do-it-yourself type of person, you can order self-service lab tests and take control of your health on your own terms. The best part is, either option that you pick, you can get 10% off of your order right now. Just go to marekhealth.com and use the code FOCALPOINT at checkout. That's MAREK health.com with the code FOCALPOINT for 10% off.
Hey guys, Sean Ryan here. I'm super excited to announce a project that I've been working on. I partnered with Ironclad for their newest original series, Target Intelligence PSYOP. It's an 8-part audio experience where we find out who is really pulling the strings. Buy it today, it's psyopshow.com. Link is in the show notes. The stakes have never been higher.
When I read this to me this article is an absolutely, buttered up nothing sandwich. It describes, in my experience in the military, the exact role that we would interface with the agency. We would meet with the case officers. They'd talk about intelligence, lines of battle, coordination, how this ties into the battle space commander. They would maybe even have a partner force or a source that we could use. I don't remember a case officer. The line was at the tactical operation, which it sounds like this, again, they didn't claim that they were going on operations. And that to me is directly in line with what my experience is. I mean, the agency has their own paramilitary organizations that people can research ad nauseum on their own, but that doesn't sound like this. This just sounds to me like the actual charter of what the agency does.
Right. There's training, resource funding, and the Mexican government would have put sort of parameters in place for any expanded relationship in counter narcotics, and that would include you're not going on joint operations, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's the role of like the DEA, right? That's the drug enforcement, and they will go on joint operations. That's their business, right? But the agency, provides, like you said, intel support, would provide resource assistance, training, and it's pretty goddamn straightforward, right? You'd have to get into a more hostile environment, like a Pakistan or Afghanistan or Iraq in the old days, and before you start engaging in joint operations with whatever element you're working with.
When do you think it switched? Every article that I see recently about the agency, it's like, well, they're trying to overthrow another country. Those wild, crazy boys. And it used to be, hey,
right, we are.
Yeah, it used to be like, hey, we're out there.
Yeah. Every morning you wake up and you think to yourself, all right, whose ass can I kick today? What country can we overthrow? That's how you start your day.
Yeah, but it used to be like, hey, we're out there making the world a safer place. We're on the front lines. We're getting intel that'll keep the U.S. safe. And now it's like those agency bastards. They're out there doing it again. When did that switch?
Yeah, well, but it was always out there. I mean, look at the church, committee that, that almost shut the agency down, right? And it's some of the past activity, of course, the old stories about, places like Chile and elsewhere. So the agency is kind of always taking an ass kicking over the generations. It's just the nature of the business. If you're running an intelligence organization for the most powerful nation in the world, yeah, you're going to get accused of all sorts of things, whether you've done them or not. And they have made mistakes in years past, right? And at that point, they've gotten their asses kicked, and they've moved in with additional executive orders or regulations and requirements and firewalls. But so again, it's not a surprise. I think there is something to what you're saying about sort of the general public perception. Yeah. But I think that's also with the Bureau and with government in general. People have always been somewhat cynical of the capabilities of politicians, although that seems to be at record lows now as well. But the distrust in government institutions, that is more worrisome, and that's been building for a number of years now.
Yeah,
and it's part and parcel of what you talked about, or sort of that inability of people to work together or compromise or figure out ways to not throw hand grenades at each other from the trenches.
Yeah, it's a wild spot. Today's episode is brought to you by DeleteMe. We have talked a lot about people getting caught in timeshare scams, falling for pig butchering schemes, or getting those mysterious text messages that you have no idea where they came from. I've spoken with guests who hunt hackers and work to protect people's personal information. But here's the thing. Your data, your personal data, your name, your address, your phone number, even your relatives' names can be bought and sold online by data brokers, putting you at risk for identity theft, scams, and harassment. Now, that is why we have partnered with DeleteMe. Like the experts we've had on the show who actively stop hackers and scammers, DeleteMe works behind the scenes to remove your personal information from hundreds of people search and data broker sites. They do it continuously, securely, and without outsourcing. Plus, real privacy advisors are available for custom requests, so you're never on your own. DeleteMe has been the leading service for removing personally identifiable information for over 15 years. They verify your data is actually on these sites before requesting removal, reducing unnecessary exposure. Wirecutter named them the #1 service of its kind, and judges, journalists, creators, and podcasters all trust DeleteMe to protect their privacy. Nowadays, this isn't just a nice to have. I feel like it's an essential. And DeleteMe makes it super easy. Just create your account, enter in your basic information on the dashboard, and they're going to do the rest. Within about a week, the first report arrives showing exactly what has been removed. Take control of your digital privacy today at joindeleteme.com/ironclad and use the coupon code Ironclad, all one word, all uppercase. You can also scan the QR code to get started. It's one of the few services actively keeping your personal information out of the wrong hands. I want to thank our partners over at Ammo Squared. They've built what they call America's Ammunition Reserve. Basically, this is an ammo savings account. You can sign up, pick from more than 70 different calibers. You can set an auto-buy budget and either choose a shipping schedule, or you can just let your personal reserve grow. Over time, your ammo stacks up and is stored for free in their climate-controlled facilities in Texas and Idaho until you are ready to ship. There are no minimums, there's no extra fees. It works whether you have a small budget or you just don't want to drop a few grand all at once. Thank you so much, Ammo Squared, for providing this cool service and for supporting the show.